time for me to introduce our guests, and then we'll get into the papers. Stack of them, actually. From my extreme left, we have the former president of GJA, Ghana Journalists Association, Afel Morning. In the middle, the lady in, is that violet?
Purple.
Purple. Looks so good on you. We have Nanaya Achepem Jantua, the former General Secretary of the CPP and former Director of Public Relations at PURC. And right beside me is Kofi Akpalu, the founder of Liberal Party of Ghana and a presidential candidate.
Exactly.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, we have about an hour. Today, my producer has been so kind because we are lost. He's extended the news review segment for us. So I'll give you each a minute and a half to get into any topical issue that's been on your mind. I'll start with you, Mr. Akpalu.
Oh, yeah. Good morning. In my mind, what is bothering me at the moment is how people are complaining bitterly in the marketplaces. Everywhere you go, people are complaining. Their things are very, very tough for them. So I'm looking at a point where we'll be able to survey the situation and get people something, especially the young people, get some jobs to do, because there are a lot of them out there who are unemployed. And looking at the situation, if you don't do anything about it, it will get us into something that we may not like. So that is something that is bothering my mind.
Okay, so looking forward to liberating our young people, right?
Yeah.
Nanaya, what's bothering you? What's bugging you this morning?
What's bugging me?
Yeah.
Let me say good morning to your viewers and good morning to Ghana and good morning to my co-panelists. What is bugging me? What is bugging me is Ghana.
What about Ghana?
Everything about Ghana is lopsided.
Yeah.
Upside down. I mean, really, it's not an easy road. Look at the depreciation of the cedi, the cost of goods and services, the dwindling standard of living, the medical situation. Look at the drugs that were left at the ports, and now it has been cleared, I've heard.
Nana, you have to speak up for us.
You can't hear me. Why? How can I speak up under this circumstances?
You mean the problems are weighing you down, eh?
It's weighing me down.
But we have
time.
to try for our audience.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, if you put everything together, it is not the best. We are not in very good times. And I always say that it is time for us to change the MPP. If for nothing at all, for us to also try another option so that we see how it goes. But as it stands now, and the sad thing is the way they always make us feel that they are the best. At least if you accept it for us, we would, I mean, feel okay. If somebody hurts you and they apologize, even though you know sometimes they don't mean it, then they have apologized. At least
you understand that they know what
they've done. But they don't. Yes, but they don't see it. What we are going through, they don't see it. You buy fuel at 60-something cedis a gallon. You buy yam at 50 cedis per tuber. You buy plantain one finger.
You buy tangerine for 7 cedis.
Yes.
One tiny little.
Yes,
ball.
you are talking about. I went to buy guava. They said 86 cedis. I said, why? Because it is imported.
Ah, well.
We can't grow guava anymore. When we were kids, guava used to grow in our backyard.
Anyway, Mr. Money.
Nanaya, my junior sister, has reignited the internal debate on whether NDC is the best or MPP is the best. But we leave that decision to the good people of Ghana.
Yeah.
My take is on the almighty announcement tomorrow, endorsing Dr. Matthew Bogo Prempenapo as the running mate for Dr. Baumia. Political parties are the building blocks of democracy. So when there are cracks in the political party, they impact directly on our democracy.
Yeah.
So if our democracy is to enjoy an upswing, then we should all make it a point to ensure that we avoid pronouncement or acts which will send us on a downward spiral. I'm saying this in relation to what the MP, Mr. Andy Apia-Kubi said about Dr. Matthew Bokoporo Napo. You know, party unity is of utmost importance now. I believe a lot of political rectitude and strategic necessity went into the selection of Napo. So it behoves every member of the party to rally behind him to ensure that the MPP goes to this crucial election on a united front and not a divided one.
Okay.
So we should watch our pronouncement in the party. Discipline party unity is of crucial importance.
Yeah.
So we will urge our brothers and sisters in MPP, mend fences and then toughen it up with MPP. Yeah. So this is my...
I mean, the majority leader did call for unity last week, saying that whatever the case, they should fix it internally and not be airing
exactly. And there's a cardinal principle in communication. Even though we have the freedom of speech, we have all the latitude to ventilate our concerns and opinions on every issue under the sun. But that principle states that the truth of a matter is not enough justification for saying it. We all know Napo has good side and bad side. He's strategic. He's a political strategist, but at the same time, he has a lot of work to do to spruce up his image. So, but it's not right. The timing is wrong for anybody to at least hit on his bad side. Anyway,
okay. Let's get into the papers now, and then hopefully we'll get into some stories that will bring us back to the conversation of what this strategy is and if this is what the NPP really needs to break the 8. I'll start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Banner stories: free SHS bill goes to cabinet, seeks cancellation of BECE for SHS admissions, and SHS to be 6 years. Be courageous, firm in the face of challenges, Ochenhene says to journalists. On the Snake Rock City negotiations, it is stalling, the Director General says. Okay, so let's get into the paper now. And let's start with a story about the free SHS bill, which is now gone to Cabinet. The free SHS bill 2024 will be presented to Cabinet for a debate this week, so it hasn't yet been presented. It will be this week. The proposed bill being drafted by the Ministry of Education is to give legal backing to the provision of free senior high school and compulsory education at the senior high school level. The Minister of Education, Dr. Yeoduchum, said last Friday that the bill would also propose the decoupling of junior high school from basic school and make it part of the secondary school, thereby creating 6 years of secondary education. The minister said another proposal of the bill was the cancellation of the basic education certificate examination as a precondition for gaining admission to the secondary level. Rather, it would be used for school selection purposes. So when this bill is passed, the certification for completing senior high school would become the first level of formal certificate any student can obtain in the country, rather than the BEC certification. That is according to the Minister of Education. How do you receive this news? So first, senior high school is now going to be extended to 6 years, including junior high school. So we have a whole 6-year term for secondary education, which means basic school is just from kindergarten or nursery up to primary 6. And you no longer need BEC as a prerequisite to enter secondary education. Rather, it's just a way of selecting schools. Okay, I want to reserve my comment and take your thoughts. I'll start with you, Mr. Palu, because you're right here with me.
Yeah, what's the meaning of that? Yeah, I think is the best decision.
How so?
Oh yeah, because to us as a party, it's part of our manifesto that we're going to merge the JHS and the SHS. So we believe that they picked the idea from us because we'll be saying it all over, and I think they bought into it and they are using it. But where we have a problem is the removal of the BEC exams. It has to still be there. That is the lower or the
primary school?
No, I'm talking about the JHS. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then the SHS will be 4, 5, 6.
Yes,
the same
6
thing.
years.
Nothing has changed. It's just that you put them on the same compound, okay? But when they get to Form 3, they will do exams.
That also means that you don't need any sort of examination or certification to get into secondary? So everyone
No, you don't need, because you don't need to drop anybody. You have to allow them to flow. You understand?
So all the numbers that will be churned out from junior high school automatically on
exactly.
board to secondary
yes,
school?
Yes, because you know at that age they are 14 years, 15 years, and what would they do?
What do you think this really does for us?
Yeah.
What benefits do we stand to gain?
The benefit is that you get most of your young people to acquire a secondary education. At least it will be the minimum of education that your people will have.
Oh, they're still getting that now?
Yeah, because you see, when some of our kids graduate at JHS and they are not able to continue, okay? So this one will become automatic that every child will go to SHS.
Well, I'm asking these questions because we have free SHS now, although it's debatable, although the policy needs review and all that. We have free SHS, which means that every, child who qualifies of school-going age to enter senior high school can actually go to school for free.
Yeah.
So if it's about, access to senior high school, they already have that access. Yeah. So decoupling senior high school, junior high school from basic education, eliminating BECE, you think that propels this free or access to senior high school agenda?
No, eliminating or cancelling the BECE is what I'm not in support. Okay. Because the kids must do some exams when they finish Form 3, the third year. They should definitely do that exam. Yes. But that will not send them to Form 3 or let them graduate from like the current system. Yeah. They still have to continue.
So it means whether you pass or not, you just continue.
Oh, exactly. Because my case,
let's put it.
My case, I experienced in there, in Ireland. That's where my kids are. They went to junior high, finished, they did their junior certificate exams. Those who opted to continue, went to Form 5, 5th year. Instead of 4th year, they went straight to 5th year and then 6th year. Okay. Some decided to go out to do voluntary whatever, or some went to do some work experience. Yes. Okay. Yeah. But here we are not going to do that. It's like a continuous 6-year program. All right. So it's something that is done elsewhere. It's not like this is going to be the first time. Okay. But I will buy into the situation whereby we're going to, like you said, we have to review the free SHS to improve it. Bill. Yeah, to improve it. Okay. I will buy into that.
All right. Nana Yajantua. The only thoughts I have on what you said is what then motivates these junior high school students to actually study hard.
That is the point.
I don't secondary school.
I don't even understand the whole thing that you are talking about. That I finished class 6. What exam do I do at class 6? In our time, we did a common entrance. It looks like they want to bring back that system, but it's not very, straight as it is. Okay. I finished class 6. I do the common entrance. It allows me to go into a school of my choice. If I'm not able to go into a school of my choice, I do a second choice or a third choice. Do you understand? Yeah. Then I go into secondary school up to Form 5. Then I do 6th form. Then after 6th form, I go to university. Yes. Right now, I don't understand that BEC, you won't do any exam. Then you go straight into SHS. I mean, how is that? So the class 6, how do you get into the BEC? So from class 6 straight to secondary school.
These are questions we should be posing to the minister everyone who is opposing.
Nobody is a kid. As long as you are in school. Me, I went to Form 1 at 10.5. One of the youngest. Do you get me? I was 10.5 years when I went to Form 1. I competed with people who were older than me. That's about the youngest you go to Form 1. Okay. Do you understand? I competed with people who were older than me. I did well in my common entrance. I was promoted 3 times as I was in primary school. So how do you say that the young ones should not be stressed? They should be allowed to go? I don't understand. Okay. Young people should be made to compete. Do you understand? So that you know that I learned and I passed. It's not a freebie.
And it's not just about passing. It's the commitment to study.
Yes.
The skills you gain from
learning.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Let's go to Mr. Moni.
We've come a long way from 7-year secondary education, from 5, 6 form, and it came to 4 years, 3 years, and now we're going back to 6 years. My only take is that we need to subject this to rigorous scrutiny and analysis. This is a time to bring on board people with distilled knowledge in education, so that they will prefer their views and suggestions to shape this policy so that it will be of supreme interest, supreme benefit to our children and the nation at large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Going forward, let's see how that goes, because it will be presented to cabinet, and so I'm sure it'll come up for debate, and people would have to listen to the input of all stakeholders involved in the educational sector. They can't just go ahead.
The MPs as usual will play political football with us.
No, but they've already put a bill together without.
Look at experts. Yeah.
They've put a bill together without getting inputs from anybody. Now the bill is going to Parliament, and whatever happens, then they pass it. Before you even put the bill together, you need to do all your stakeholder consultations on the matter. In fact,
and there's that question about whether there's actually a policy framework for the...
That is what I'm saying. I always say that when you do a bill, you should have a source document. After the source document, then you put your bill or your law in place. Then after that, you put your LI to regulate whatever it is. But where is the source document, the policy itself for this?
Again, we are told that a piece of legislation on free SHS is in the offing. So I don't know how we can align. I don't know how
progressively
we can,
free senior higher education and all that. Okay, let's do some more stories. Now on this Senate...
Because you were talking about a review of the SHS.
The policy.
Yeah, this part of the review. Okay, because this one, it definitely the end result is that we're going to have day schools, all the secondary schools are going to be day eventually, because we're going to start using the current JHS schools to run this senior higher education.
Are you saying this bill is part of the review of the policy?
Yes,
it's SHS policy?
Yes, it's part.
But isn't that backwards?
No.
Because the things we're calling for in terms of reviews, the quality of food, whether or not it should be a scale of preference, those who can afford to pay should pay, those who can't afford fall under. So if you present this bill to Parliament, to Cabinet...
No, this one is going to eliminate the boarding system. Okay? This is going to take away the boarding system.
Really? I haven't read the entire bill, so I cannot confirm that.
But that is the end game. It's going to take away the boarding system, so that the case where they are. Because see, if a child is at maybe a junior high now, he has only 3 years to go to SS. Okay, so they can continue where they are.
Have you seen?
You just add additional infrastructure at where they are. Okay, and then they finish there. They don't need to go to boarding.
My dear, can I come in a minute?
Yeah.
Most of these JHS schools are private.
Yes.
They continue.
About 70% private. I have put my investments in something, and my vision is to do a junior high school. Then you are, as a private investor, you are now forcing me to... yes, because you see, who is going to extend it for them? You are going to add on more classrooms, more teachers. The curriculum will change. Even the compound will change.
Yeah, that's for business, you see.
All right, we have to, let's do other stories now.
Just a quick one. You know, as a business person, I believe that it is even the best for the private schools, because now you can go to your bank, you can acquire, because there's the demand for your service, okay? Because you're building additional classrooms, additional infrastructure. The banks will be ready to support that, okay? And now the kids who are in the private schools will continue to be at the private schools and finish there. And those who are in the public schools will finish in the public schools.
Okay.
And now this is going to even reduce the burden on the state.
Mr. Palu,
from running
this
senior high
matter
school.
needs more probing, but let's put a pin in it and do other stories. So on the Smith Rock City negotiations, the Director General is saying that the process is stalled. The story is on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. I'll read a bit of it for context and then we get into it. Negotiations between Tier 1 Pension Fund Manager, Social Security and National Insurance Trust and Rock City Hotel Limited over the sale of 60% stake in 4 of its hotels have stalled. This is because there are major challenges regarding the payment terms of the deal, the Director General of SNIT, Kofi Osafo-Mafo, has said, breaking his silence over the matter for the first time. Now, Rock City, we know the story. Rock City wants to take over 4 SNIT hotels, 60% stake in 4 hotels, and now they're saying that it has stalled. It looks like the demonstrations and the calls for this negotiation to be stalled has actually come to fruition. What did you say? I'll start with you, Mr. Moni.
I think that issue is not the concerns of many stakeholders, because Senate is a baby of workers, and the concerns of the working force and political actors, especially around this time, we expect everybody to view issues from partisan lenses, and obviously we then blame the MDC and others for making political capital out of the intended sale of SNIT shares to Rock City. But the concern is the sale of the shares to Brian Achampong. I think that is the crux of the matter.
Okay.
So
let me just put a quote for context. He says, quote, until we see the money and the payment plan agreed according to our terms, there will be no deal. So they're stalling because there's some controversy about payment terms and whether or not there's cash on hand to actually purchase this.
As I said, it is the concerns of organized labor.
Yes.
And opposition political parties is that Brian has put himself in a conflict of interest position.
Yes.
So Brian is no as far as the sale is concerned. So Senate is on a different tangent altogether.
Yeah.
That they will want the cash in full before they dispose of their shares in the hotels. But thus, I doubt if this will meet the approval of people who are opposing this agreement to the Hills.
Nanaya Jantua.
The way you mentioned my name. You see, when I saw this, I was mortified. I said, so these SNIT people, they don't want to listen. Who are they going to engage? We have told them our mind. Because we have paid money into SNIT. And we don't want it to go to anybody. Rather, you should come and tell us that they are going to get proper management to manage the hotels.
We don't want it to
No.
We
Because
don't want them to
that is our investment. And we don't want it to go to anybody. Tomorrow, we have seen it in this country before, divestiture. It goes through the process, and by the time you realize the thing is vanquished, you can't even find it. So we don't, this is divestiture, because their chairman said it is being divested.
Yeah.
So we are not going to allow, because our money is in there. The pension money. The people who are on pension.
But Pension Regulatory Authority also
They
came out clearly
halt this sale. So I don't understand what he's saying, but we will continue to engage. This is what I was saying before. You see, this government, they don't listen. They don't care. Because why do you say, who are you going to engage? The people who own the thing said they don't, the 60%, they said we don't want it to be sold. So leave it at that. Let's see it. Because you see, the issue of Brian, and sometimes it's pathetic. Brian started all this thing when he wasn't a minister. I remember, I guess 2018, he started the bidding. He wasn't a minister.
Yeah.
So in this world, you have to know what is good for you, what suits you. It's either he wants to be a businessman or he wants to be a minister. Because as a member of parliament, he could write to the speaker that he wants to engage in a business allowed. But as a minister, it's a clear conflict of interest.
And does he not know this? That's sometimes,
no, but
sometimes when I think
it's possible he doesn't know.
How do you not know?
You see, the code of ethics of ministers, you are not supposed to be engaged in economic ventures.
Yeah.
Do you get me? The code of ethics, they should bring it so that we see if it is there or it is not there. You are supposed to work and be committed to the people of Ghana. Sometimes I even have a problem with that, but that is what it is now.
Yeah.
So what business do you have going in there? Besides, we are saying that it should not be so. They should listen.
Mr. Safamafo is saying that their interest right now is restructuring the non-performing hotels.
No, but
whatever that translates.
Yes,
to
restructuring.
for him, that's the best that he.
I want to know how much pension Mr. Safamafo has paid.
Yeah.
As a SNIT contribution. Do you get me? How much is his money in there? And I believe it is time for us to, one, change our constitution. And number two, make sure that the SNIT board, chief executive, should be appointed by Labour, not government. Because people who are from government, they see things differently. I want to, if he has paid pension before, if his money is there, he will feel very, very passionate about it. He would understand what we are talking about. We have seen SNIT investments sprawled all over. At the end of the day, what is the dividend coming out of it? Flats, hotels, whatever. Nobody is even taking account of what is coming out of it. Meanwhile, this is money for pensioners. After going to DDEP, if at the end of the day this one too goes bad, what then happens? What then happens to workers? Yes, because people depend on their pension.
People depend on their pension, Mr. Palu.
Yeah, it seems like we are confusing the whole thing.
How so?
Yeah, because you see, SNIT, what is it? What is their business? They're not supposed to run hotels. Are they hotel managers?
But it's okay. Finish your trail of
you
thought,
see,
then I
because
can understand what you're saying.
SNIT, their role is to invest the monies given to them.
Okay.
But the beneficiaries.
Okay.
So that in the future, they can give something back to them. So SNIT has a role to play in managing those funds with them. So they put their monies in so many products or portfolios. It's up to them to decide that this portfolio, we are getting the needed returns or we are not getting. So where they are not getting the returns, it's prudent for them to move away from that investment if they can get their monies back. If you take companies like Aluwex, SNIT have investment there. Now, where is Aluwex? It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay? So there are so many investments that SNIT have done that they are not getting any proper returns. Even if you go to AWA, Africa World Airlines, they have investments there, okay? But they've never received any dividends so far.
And you know this for a fact?
Yes.
Okay.
The first time they're going to get dividends will be this year.
Okay.
Okay? So there are so many investments that they have done, but they are not getting anything. But we, the beneficiaries, what we are looking for is that SNIT to be able to pay us when we need our money.
Are you saying that so we shouldn't concern ourselves with how SNIT invests money?
Yes. So now...
This is even the first time I'm hearing that they've put our money in our...
No, I'm coming. You see, so that's why I have to do a lot of... There are so many companies that they've invested in because they cannot keep those monies in the box, sitting idle. The monies must go into investment so that it can yield something, so that those who are going to start receiving benefits in the long run can get something. You know, so leaving the money in those hotels, they believe that it will not help the SNIT. So they want to take their monies out, okay, and then reinvest it in something else. But we sitting somewhere, we think, oh, it's hotel. We need... No, it's not about the hotel. It's about our investment, where the money goes into. So they have a lot of hotels. They believe that they can lump them up and then dispose their interest. Okay? That's why they are selling the profitable and then the unprofitable hotels. They're lumping them, and then who is going to buy those that they are not making profit? If you are not making profit, you want
Mr.
it
Palu,
to be sold to who?
Are you saying that SNIT has the right to invest our money
yes
anywhere they fit
yes
to make profit? Are you aware that International Labour Organization predicted that by 2050 or so, SNAT's coffers will be depleted and they will not be able to...
Because if they allow...
Say again.
They've come out to deny that.
They've come out to deny that.
Yeah.
Are you saying to me that if you bought shares in, let's say, GTCO or EcoBank Global or something, you bought stocks, right? And you wouldn't mind, you wouldn't probe what they did with your money, even if it meant that your money, they could potentially run a loss and then they will come back to you.
You see, you'll be concerned about how the money is being managed elsewhere, okay? So some of the concerns is that this investment here is not being profitable. So if I can sell it...
Abadi Beach Hotel is profitable.
No, you see...
They have paid 5 million dividend.
Maybe I'm not getting what you're saying.
Yeah, you see, it's profitable to you because
Would you sell a venture that's profitable to you, for you?
Yes. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. I'm an accountant. There's nothing wrong.
And the payment plan would be that the person works and pays you over time. So it's like work and pay. I take over your business that is profitable to you, and then I'll pay you with the money that I'll earn from running the place after I've taken it over from you.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Because that's what Brian Champon proposed, to pay over time, over a 3-year period.
I don't care about Brian Champon. What I care is what SNAT is doing. Please, listen carefully.
Okay.
I don't want it to go into personal issue.
All right.
You see, now, they have investment here in this portfolio. They believe that right now they can sell it, get some money, good money out of that, than to leave the money to stay there.
They believe.
Okay? So, that's a right decision that they have taken as SNAT. But you are sitting somewhere, you will not understand because you play too much politics about the whole thing. It's not about politics, it's about investment. You believe that the money is here, you cannot tie the money there, so you can remove the money and invest it in something else.
What is that something else?
It can be anything. There are so many products that they invest their money in. They don't invest their money in. That's why you are sitting here. You didn't know they have money in our.
I mean, you just want without telling us. My money is with you. You can invest without telling me.
They have money in trust logistics.
Let me take.
Seriously. Let me very serious here. I put my money. I put my money in a fund. Do you get me? And it is my pension. Then you invest it in ventures without calling a meeting or even doing some media.
Breaching procurement process.
Yes. I mean, how do you go and invest my money in a venture without even making me have a say? And now, historically, most of the ventures that SNAT puts our money in always go bad. Kofi here talked about Aluex. It has gone bust. Today, if this airline also folds up, our money is gone. Now you are saying that the hotels are not doing well. So
some of them. But
some of them are not doing well. So you want to sell them off. You get the bulk sum. What are you going to use it for? At least there should be somebody who is investigating where to put the money so that it doesn't go bust. It doesn't go bad. Because this money is not, you see, if I put my money in an investment and it goes bad, it is my responsibility. But this is a money for a number of people whose life at the end of the day after 60 depends on this money. So you
to a large extent, we need transparency.
We need transparency.
We need to know
all the lingering
because we don't need.
If Nana is much concerned about SNAT, if Nana is much concerned about SNAT, then you should go and look for the portfolio where SNAT have put money.
How are we going to
CDH,
they should come and tell us.
CDH, they have money there, okay? Now, if you go to CDH, you go to Ivory Finance.
See,
there are so many.
Let me put this in perspective.
Yes.
It's not about the number of ventures that SNAT invests our money in.
And they are not
it's about doing the right thing.
Yes.
This man, Brian Champon, his hotel does not even have enough money to buy the hotels that he wants to buy. And this man, hold on a second for me. He's not supposed to be even venturing near any government property or business, state institutions in terms of acquiring it. That's where the principle of state capture comes in. And so we are saying that Brian Achampon and his Rock City Hotel, it's a no-no for us. It is our money. We decide that we don't want him to do that because if you know how to turn it around, why don't you present it to cabinet so that you actually turn the finances around to benefit us because you're a minister?
No, you see.
So the issue is not that they shouldn't invest our monies. The issue is that we need transparency. We need to understand.
Profitably.
And in terms of procurement processes, it needs to be strictly adhered to.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you. I agree with you. But still, you need to understand this. Investments done by SNIT doesn't mean they have total control of that company or whatever.
But that's the very reason why we invest, so you can have control over the money, so you know where it goes and what it does for you.
60% shares, you don't have control.
Like what Nanaya was saying, that they should come and tell us.
Of course, because it's our money.
Every day they should come and tell us.
No, it's not every day.
That's why you have fund managers. Fund managers are managing your fund.
No, please. So if you are investing my money, you can buy a page in the newspaper. Tell us that so far, this is what your money is being invested in. Oh, this is the proposal to invest your money. Yes. If you miss it in the newspapers, or you do, please, you do some engagement. So that at the end of the day, consistent engagement. So at the end of I know that, okay, I've taken my money to a good place.
Yeah.
Because you see, if they take about 15% of your salary, or I think 18, 15, every month, consistently, and if you work for 30 years, for the 30 years, every month, granted that you took 15% of your salary and put it somewhere and invested yourself, or even use it every 1 year to buy land and start building. By the time you finish, you'd have about 4 or 5 houses. That when you go on pension, you'll be taking rent from these houses.
And so you're trusting the state to
do this for you.
Exactly.
Do this for me.
I think that's the big.
You should be answerable. You cannot just say that you are going to invest.
Is there anybody who has gone on pension and he has not received? What is it?
It is not what you receive, it's how much.
I think we can agree to disagree, but to
a
large extent, we don't, not I, to a large extent, looks like Nanaya Jantua and Mr. Moni don't agree with what you say.
It's understandable.
Yes.
It's understandable.
But
in the
I also
that
want you to understand that
the three of you
in terms of what SNIT is doing, we are not saying they should come and every day tell us today we are doing, we are saying that adhere to procurement processes. Don't sell state institutions to government officials or ministers because it is not done. And if you actually choose to sell in terms of restructuring or because we're in financial crisis, we need to know first why you are doing it, how you're doing it, who's involved, when and where the money is coming. That's it.
So and then lastly, sweetie, I think SNIT should be gravely concerned about its image, which has been dented, battered, butchered, and then shattered. Because image is everything. Once your image suffers this decline, then it should sit up. So all these lingering issues reinforce the need for SNIT to, number one, stop the internal sale, and then engage the stakeholders. After all the management are the employees of workers. So the workers' input can never and should never be ignored as far as this issue is concerned.
That's democracy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do some. Let's do some other stories. I'm sorry. We don't have time.
Just
NPP UK. I'll come back to you. NPP UK YEF raised £1.2 million to support Bawumia's campaign. This story, I think we caught wind of it last week or last 2 weeks. But now the question of if they should be raising that much money outside, and whether or not it's legal. There was an argument in the newsroom about if that institution, which is registered in the UK, it means that it's an international body, should be raising money for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign. But for context, I'll just get into the story briefly and I'll come to you. So the New Patriotic Party executives and supporters in the United Kingdom, along with the Young Executive Forum, have raised £1.2 million to support Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's 2024 presidential campaign. The amount raised at a fundraising dinner in central London is the highest ever realized by the branch ahead of any election. And for context, in 2016, the NPP UK and YEF raised about £150,000 for Akufo-Addo's campaign, while in 2020 they raised a total of 450,000. So this is the highest they've seen so far. How do you feel about this, Mr. Moni?
I'm wondering whether this conflicts the political parties law. I haven't done any research to come to any conclusion. But on the other side, this hefty amount is a vote of confidence in the leadership of the MPP. I believe it to galvanize their campaign and ensure that they break the 8. So kudos to the UK branch of MPP. So political parties, they need money. They need the oxygen of money to operate.
5 months to elections.
5 months to election, a very crucial election, which will either consign an MPP to opposition or break the 8. This election can also determine the comeback of NDC. They are desperate to come back to power.
Or the rise of one of these independent candidates and
like
the
LPG.
movement for, say again?
LPG.
Yeah. Mr. Palu here, or Alan Chemanteng and his alliance.
I think Mr. Palu and Alan will agree with me that it is not within the bounds of possibility for, it's not their time.
Oh.
It's not their time.
You can't say that, so.
Oh,
the
no,
way Ghana is.
It is not their time.
Election.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll win it. I'll win the election.
That's very ambitious.
Yes, very ambitious.
I'll win it.
Overly ambitious.
Oh, I wouldn't say overly. I mean,
Yeah.
it's ambitious.
I'll win this election.
Okay.
Oh, no. This election.
Where's your confidence coming from?
The man is everywhere. Oh.
We are campaigning.
Okay.
Yeah, we are campaigning. It's not like we are not campaigning. We are seriously campaigning on the ground. And it's going in our favor. Because
do you have the money to win? The NPP is
you
just
don't need only. You don't need
oh,
one.
that's almost 220 million
No,
cedis, right?
it's
or
not
20
only-
something million.
28 million.
Yeah.
If you use
It's not only
20
money. It's not only money. You also need the help of other people to do certain things for you without asking you for money. Yeah. Some people will volunteer.
Okay.
And people have also made their mind that they're not going to vote for MPP and NDC. Majority of Ghanaians, they've made their mind. I believe you, even if you get opportunity, you vote against the two.
I plead the faith. So that's the last story. I have to come to Nanaya and then we'll get into your papers. Nanaya.
Oh,
You were saying something about the 1.2 million.
no, it's 28 million Ghana cedis.
Okay.
Is it 1.2?
It's 1.2 pounds, million
Okay, so
pounds.
26 million Ghana cedis. I mean, every political party needs money to run around. I mean, whether you win or not, you need a certain. The CDD put it at about $100 million dollars for a real, a real campaign. $100 million. So.
Political parties can raise that amount.
Yes,
yes,
but somebody
we are going to IMF for about half of that.
Half of that. So amongst ourselves, amongst wherever.
Yeah.
I also asked the question and I'm told that because the people are not British, but they are Ghanaians. But I'm wondering, how can a Ghanaian live in the UK? You should have requisite papers to live in the UK. Unless they are telling us that those who donated are just residents, we need to go into that because the political party's law does not allow foreigners to donate to political parties. Yes. And you can be a black Ghanaian but a British. And as long as you donate, it means it's a foreigner. Because if you are a Ghanaian and you live in Ghana, and you are British, you are American, you are Swedish, you still need to have a resident permit to live in Ghana, unless you do the dual citizenship. So for us to look into, we need to look into, if that's what we want to do, we need to look into the background of those who donated.
The other side is that they say it was a fundraising dinner.
Yes.
So it means that they didn't actually put a structural system in place to say, raise this amount for us. They had a dinner, people were making merry, and they decided to donate out of the goodness of their heart. But the amount in question is a bit too big.
Yes, but the people who donated, who are they? It is key.
Okay.
Because I'm saying you cannot live in Britain and without any papers.
Okay.
You should live there either as a resident or as a British citizen.
All right.
Do you understand me? So, I mean, if we really want to go into it, and being in Britain, to get people donating this in Britain, I mean, and the kind of people who are there, really, we need to find out. But that is also their own business of wanting to break the 8.
Yeah. I'll take your words on this, and then I'll do some quick headlines.
I think this is normal.
Okay.
It's not anything that we should worry ourselves with, because NDC recently did the same thing in Atlanta.
Okay.
If you check the 6th of May daily graphic, it's there.
Okay.
They raised money, so everybody's doing it.
Okay.
And they are raising these monies from our own people.
Okay.
Ghanaians outside, because if you go to all those places, MPP and NDC, they have their branches there. And those people are contributing to the parties. So I don't think there's anything unethical or anything.
The question is really just about checks and balances, and if whether or not these
because the law says something. The law says you cannot get contributions.
You see, this one, if you get
foreigners,
if you get 120 people who are supporting MPP in the UK,
and each giving how much?
£10,000.
£10,000, British man.
You don't have it, so don't worry. Because so many people, many people in the UK, they have more than that. Okay.
I've just been told we have just a few minutes to go. So let me quickly get into some headlines, and I'll come to you for your stories.
Oh, but we have done everything.
So everything.
Like most
let me take your stories, and then I'll conclude here.
Okay.
Your banner stories, and then.
The good news is that the $360 million will hit the account of Bank of Ghana today.
What paper is that?
That is the custodian.
Okay.
And this is good news because you know the epileptic behavior of the CD.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that epileptic behavior of the
as compared to the dollar.
I like that.
So this will help.
Let me notice epileptic behavior.
This will help stabilize. Yeah.
Epileptic.
Let's listen to.
And we need the financial oxygen, because getting to the election, expenditure will skyrocket. Yeah. Workers will demand what is due, even what is not due them. In the name of politics, you're obliged to respond positively. Otherwise, there'll be a backlash on election day.
Yeah.
So, good news. So, we need to commend the finance minister for working tirelessly towards this financial respite.
Right.
And another story on the custodian is that the information minister has presented a report on the RTI to Parliament. The RTI law or bill had been incubating for so many years. I remember as a member of the RTI coalition, we had to hit the streets. We went to Parliament, made a lot of noise. For 20 years, this law or bill had been incubating, and it took the boldness of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo to pass it into law. So kudos to his government. And then RTI sets as a tool in the fight against, a vital tool in the fight against corruption and transparency. So if you look at the major scandals, the exposure of major scandals, and RTI also serves to shed light in so many dark spots. So we are commending the government. Upon Kuma did a very good job. He was brilliant as information minister, and Hajia Fatima also has stepped into her shoes. We pray that she will match up towards Honorable Kojo Nkrumah.
Okay. All the best to them. I mean, in terms of implementation, there are still some challenges there. There are some
roadblocks.
That don't have information officers.
Deliberate roadblocks.
Request information and it takes months. Sometimes they dump boxes of for you. But I mean, to the large extent, it's the law now. Yeah. It's doing good. It's helping us expose wherever exposition needs. Nanaya Jantua.
I think we've said most of the things.
What paper do you have?
I have the Ghanaian Publisher. We've talked about SNET. Senior colleague here talked about FATI.
Okay.
Now, LEAP, they said LEAP beneficiaries to share 103 million. It's a good thing. Okay. I mean, we hope it is shared properly so that everybody gets the benefit therein. We don't want any situation where they will say 103, and meanwhile nobody gets anything. Okay. If it's good for them to I mean, help this
This is
thing.
what you have to go.
Pardon?
This is what you have to go and look for. Who are the beneficiaries?
We have to go. Let her get
And IGP not removed police.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, that thing that happened, I said it was very unnecessary, and now the parliamentary team has come out to say that the officers, what they did was unethical. It was of unethical behavior. So,
Right.
I mean, he's doing well. I don't think anybody should make life difficult for him. But he should start looking at the motor riders. They are just causing a mess. You'll be driving and you find that at your right side, the motor rider will just come and cross you. I think it is time that he looked there to ensure safety on our roads.
All right.
Yeah.
Mr. Apalu.
Yeah.
This is like 30 seconds. Do magic for me in 30 seconds.
Oh,
You can't do it.
Yeah, from the Delhi Guide,
Yeah.
we have multiple suicide bombings.
In Nigeria.
That killed at least 18 people over the weekend.
Yes, over
Our
there.
condolences to
Yeah,
them.
so I think it's something that we need to look at, because the weddings and then the hospital and a whole lot of places were bombed. So we need to learn some lessons from it.
Yeah.
That we shouldn't take things for granted.
Ghana should be a no-go area.
Exactly.
All right. This is all that time will allow us to do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being my guest. We have Mr. Afilmoni, the former GJA president, Nanaya Jantwa, former director for public relations at PRC and former general secretary for the CPP, and
The
Mr.
next president.
Say again.
The next president of
Excellent.
Is that how you're introducing yourself?
Excellence.
and then the first Votarian president. To be.
Okay, and the first vote.
You are not the first Rotarian president.
This has been
JJ was the
segment.
first.
Thank you so much for joining
Who was
us.
what?
Stay with us. Sport is
Mr.
up
Scottish.
next.
What are you talking about?
You're the next president.
Who was voted?